After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Penhook Needles Podcast, episode 453. Today is Saturday, May 8th, 2021, as we are recording. My name is Marlisha, also known as Lady Furnico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad you found us. We hope you find something you enjoy and that you will continue to return to join us. If you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. It's always nice to have friendly faces here, even if we can't see them. If you are new or returning and you are in the shadows, please feel free, if you want to subscribe to the channel, to gently tap the little bell and the subscribe button so that you can be a part of the group here officially. And if you'd like to take part in the alongs, you can do that over at our home group, which is at phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. There's a link in the little description box below. And we'd love to have you there as well. We just want to make sure we don't have any bots. So right. You ask to come in. One of us will let you in, either Talia, myself, or one of the moderators will let you in. We'd love to see you there, having fun, doing the alongs and being eligible for prizes and coupons and things like that. Okay? All right. Let's see. I guess we should do a tea time in the national park pretty soon, but it's not today. I have more projects by one?
Yes, you do.
Okay. For some reason I picked up my Memento Mori mug. My Memento Mori mug is a Plum Deluxe tea. It is chocolate mint like the cookie oolong tea. Enjoy a treat. It's oolong tea, black tea, cocoa pieces, cocoa peel, peppermint roasted coconut chips, and vanilla mint essence. And has caffeine. Yay. I should have probably worn my glasses for this. But anyway, this is one of their new ones, I think. I love this.
It was new to us.
Yeah, I think it came out new at Easter.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, I've already gone through one of these. I love this. It's absolutely fantastic. And I'm having a stroopwafel on Sweet Amsterdam, and I'd say, I picked up a lemon. I didn't want a lemon.
Oh,
I have a lemon one. Not that I don't like the lemon, but I didn't want
You had your mouth set for the cinnamon.
I mean, I guess it'll be okay with the chocolate. But,
it'll be fine with the chocolate. Chocolate and lemon go great. Mm-hmm. For me, I also had the lemon stroopwafel.
It's not as sharp as I thought it would be. I was thinking.
Oh no, it's not a really sharp.
I was thinking like the banana.
Oh no, it's not the banana.
This is fine.
What I have. What did I do with my? Is it in my back pocket? I had the. Oh, there it is. I have Plum Deluxe tea as well. Candy cane herbal tea. I wanted an herbal because we have a lot of weather going on right now. I didn't want to have caffeine in the morning and caffeine for the podcast because one of the ways I bribe myself to not sleep in is I can have something caffeinated with my breakfast. So, caffeinated and hot. Those two things together are important. So I wanted to have an herbal for this time. So candy cane herbal tea, a tasty invigorating treat. It's green rubios, peppermint, safflower, peppermint essence, love, gratitude, no caffeine.
That's a really good tea too.
It is. I'm almost running out.
I don't know how long you can get any more of that. I think it's seasonal.
I think it's seasonal too. I might not be able to have it anymore until that point.
Well, if you want some, I might have some left. So.
Well, it's okay. I'm not going to drink yours.
Well, if I don't drink it, you can have it. I mean, it's just him. I drink it as well, but excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna. I told you I probably wouldn't get more lemon, but I might since it's more mild than I thought.
Right. It's not super strong.
I'm talking about the stroopwafel again, not the tea.
I figured you were.
No, I was talking for them. Yeah. Before we move on into what we have on our agenda, if you will. I want to thank everybody who was so kind as to offer prayers and good wishes for my husband. He is home. He's been home since Saturday, last Saturday, and he had a follow-up appointment, and he's doing well, and he's going to go back in a month so they can check him over again and set a time for the surgery. So we're really grateful for all your support and prayers, and ask for continued prayers so that it can all go smoothly all the way through the wonderful colonoscopy they have to have after that. So, so we appreciate that. Thank you so much for being there for us. Okay, let me have a little bit of a drink here before I start the marathon.
Now this candy cane one, if I remember correctly, is one that gets even better as it sits.
Yeah, and so
there's
does
a couple that do that.
So does this. Okay, let's move into our alongs. We are currently doing, I think it's 3 alongs. We have the PHN Christmas All Year Long Cowl 2021, and as usual, I'm going to kind of go verbatim on the rules here on this one, and then I'll change what's on the other ones that needs to be changed. This one started January 1st of this year and goes to midnight Eastern Standard Time, going into next year. Okay, so if it's January 1st, 2022. Then you can't put anything in unless the thread happens to still be open, So you make sure you get all your projects in on time so they're eligible for prizes. You don't have to be to celebrate Christmas to participate, okay? You can use the Christmas colors. Let's see here. Christmas themed yarns or patterns and or donated to Christmas charities are still eligible for prizes. Okay. Projects must be loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips are allowed, but must be worked on during the along. Chatter and pictures are all on the same thread. 1 whip per project per week. Post the FO whenever it's completed. Prizes, we do have some. We've already given out a couple. And we have, we're doing this quarterly. So we have like 2 prizes for each quarter. It's hashtag PHN Christmas All Year 2021 on Instagram. If an FO uses 50 yards or less, please post with another FO of 50 yards or more, okay? Or at least 50 yards. Operation Christmas Child or any projects going toward Christmas donations is eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the FOs. The projects using the Christmas colors, let's see. Okay, the Christmas colors are... This is for ours. It's arbitrary. This is what we consider Christmas colors. Greens, blues, reds, white cream, gold, silver, purples, and pinks. Okay, that's a lot of options there, so you guys aren't at all stifled. And let's see here. I have some more notes I thought about this in terms of, anything that's in a Lady Fernigo Creations yarn, Christmas colorway, or Laura Concert's Lollipop Girl yarns, any of our 3 patterns, if those are finished objects and it's Christmas giveaway kind of thing, it's all on the thread, that's also 2 chances at a prize. And if you use a featured yarn with a featured pattern for the finished object, that's 3 chances at a prize. And that's all in the thread. You're responsible for your multiple postings. Let's see. Autism awareness. We are in the 2nd month since it's now May. I can't believe it's already May.
I know, right?
Okay.
She didn't believe me when I told her tomorrow was Mother's Day initially.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's not right. That's next week. But anyway, autism awareness is a month in, and I like seeing all the bright stuff in there. I'm a little remiss. I haven't been in there because of the crazy weeks we've been having with health issues, but I did want to go back and look. I've seen beautiful things in there, so bright and happy and cheery, And
I go in about once a week when I do the podcast stuff.
The rules are basically the same, okay? Everything, same featured patterns and yarns. The only change is that we're also including George was 10 hours or less, his Braided Bright, which he developed for our very first one, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And also...
Maybe the second one.
Yeah, and also the Weighted Lapgan and Teddy Bear, one or both, doesn't matter which, by Miss World, who is now a Modest Creation, I think she is, on Etsy. I think she's on Ravelry as well, but I don't know. And so those are our featured patterns along with the normal featured patterns or featured yarns for a finished object, 2 chances at a prize. Featured pattern with a featured yarn for a finished object is 3 chances at a prize. Okay, and the whole multiple posting thing. Let's see. basically everything else is the same. If it's dull or somber colors, and dull, I don't mean dull like they're boring. I just mean that they're muted, okay?
Or like black.
Or black or something like that. They can be used as contrasting colors in these things. We want about at least 80%, bright colored. You can have some contrast, to make it pop or whatever.
Right.
But if you have, predominantly somber colors, we might make executive decisions or managerial decisions and move it somewhere else so that people can ooh and ah over it there, but it's not going to mess up my count for the prizes pulling, okay? Let's see. Okay, I got that. Yay, I did it all. Yay for memory working.
Yay.
Let's see here. And right now, I know we have more prizes. I just haven't pulled them to see what they are. But right now, we do have a wonderful donation from Looney Hiker, who is Pat. She's donated the winner's choice of any one of her patterns. Okay? She has some really nice patterns.
Yeah.
She's a talented designer, so that'll be fun. Now, this last one, we are providing a platform. We are 100% behind it, but it's not our baby. Okay? So I'm going to read theirs because they're... rules are slightly different than ours. Not a lot, but slightly. Okay, this is the Comfort Along. This is Wombat of Doom and B-Wing. That's Patty and Brittany, respectively. Mm-hmm. Okay, and this runs from March 1st, 2021 through midnight, June 30th, 2021 Eastern Standard Time. And I do thank Patty and Brittany for doing that way because that's finally helped me to figure out how to do our midnight things.
Oh, okay.
No previous whips are allowed for this, so everything you put in the Comfort Along needs to be started no earlier than March 1st, okay? Right, no earlier than March 1st. Items eligible for the Comfort Along can be knitted, crocheted, or loom knit. They're looking specifically for dishcloths, washcloths, and hats. Hat sizes can be from young adult through adult. And there's a greater need for boys' colors or gender neutrals, so they ask you to please keep that in mind. Although, of course, female would be nice too, so they don't have nothing to wear. But they are looking for males because I guess they get missed. People like to knit the other colors better, you know. Chatter and pictures all on the same thread. 1 whip per project per week. Post the FO whenever it's completed. If you are also in the Comforting Crafts Facebook group, feel free to post your pictures there as well. However, the prizes will be pulled from the thread in our PHN home group using random number generator. Okay, so I will pull the prizes. I'll get in touch with Patty and Brittany to find out how many times I have to pull because I don't know how many prizes they have over there. I know we have 2.
Right.
I don't know how many they have. The prizes so far are
that we know
of 2 skeins of Dishy yarn, dishcloth pattern booklets, and handmade greeting cards by B-Wing, and more prizes may be added. Talia is donating one of her Tortoise versus Hare pattern books, and I am donating a skein of yarn. Okay, so get a lot of prizes on that. So yay, get those things out to Brittany for your chances, and that takes care of that. It's hashtag PHN Comfort Along 2021, and you contact Brittany for the mailing address because we don't want to put her address out on the the interweb or whatever you call it. I guess I have to still talk, don't I?
Yep,
okay.
you do, because you are more than me.
Why is that in there like that? I have to figure that out. Okay. All right, my first one is always my first one, so you guys could probably already say what it is.
Did you say your first one is always your first one?
Yeah. It makes sense when you think about it. My first one is
first one is always going to be your first one.
No, my first one is the one that's always first. Because it's the one I pulled out, and it's the only one I work, and it's the top of my list. So don't make issues where there aren't any. This is my Spoiled Bunny Stomp from the Cerebelle Scarf Pattern by Sarah Sweetheart.
Oh, apparently I have 9 as well.
What?
We're actually equal. I thought I had 8.
You fibbed.
No, I actually literally thought I had 8.
And you can see my progress. I didn't make a whole lot. Did on the podcast last week. And this is Test Designer Yarns. It's a worsted weight. I don't know the colorway. And I enjoy working this. It's kind of a mindless project. I just kind of go. So that's that.
Okie dokie. Now it's my turn.
She fibbed.
No, I honestly thought all I had was 8.
She fibbed.
Because for most of the time I had 8 and then something came up. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show is actually the one I'm working. Let me put a stitch marker here so I can show it a little better. Or show her a little better.
She's highly offended.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. No, it's not her turn. Sorry, sweetheart. You have to wait.
Usually she has to wait? She has to wait?
I show always the Christmas stocking bag first. So Silver Shed.
So your first one is always first.
Silver Shed USA.
No, yes, you know I'm right.
This is the Peanuts Christmas bag, and it has Davina's Christmas stocking in it.
Yeah.
Because she wants it done for this Christmas.
Yeah, please, right?
She wants it done for this Christmas. I don't know.
Stop.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think there's much of a please behind that.
Well, she gets excited about that.
Yes, she
stuff.
does.
Okay, let me see here. What do I have?
Because the other one that I made her, that actually kickstarted me in designing color work, was a little too thin.
Let's see. Okay, in my Knitter's Magic large lavender flowers on a dark field bag is my Welcome Little One project from the On the Porch blanket knitting pattern by 5410 Studio.
You didn't say on the porch floor, yay!
It was so hard. I'm using US 10.5s, Chalgoo red lace circulars, and this is Lady Fernico's Superwash Merino Bulky and Bare Necessities. And I did a little bit of work on this. And I explained last time that it's going to be slightly different than intended because of the way I read the pattern. So, yeah.
You're just going to keep it consistent.
I'm just going to keep it consistent. It's all it's going to do is the pattern's going to be slightly narrower. So, and I like this. It's fun. And I have the add-on here. I thought about Laura Concert when she was talking about one of her projects. It was in reverse stockinette, and she had the same thing with me in the front. The adding of the yarn. So we just have to pull it in so it's in the back. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. It's fun. I'm going to see how it turns out, and then I'm not a big blanket knitter because it just takes so long. Even with bulkage, I'm like, is it finished yet? It doesn't matter how much I like the pattern. I love Talia's, but I haven't picked it up again. I'm doing the one with the color work. Was it the Melissa?
Possibly.
Or it wasn't the migraine because I had the migraine something else.
Okay, yeah, it'd be the Melissa because yeah,
because it's got color work. Migraine doesn't have color work.
Migraine does not know.
Yeah, so I was like, I want to do blankets. They take forever knitting, but I always start another one because I'm a glutton for punishment.
You have a blanket addiction, but it's a.
Well, that's what I started out with. Was blankets and scarves.
That explains a lot. Yeah.
Crocheting.
I've probably made one whole scarf ever. I think it's one I made in a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
I might have made a second one. Like, I don't do scarves. I don't enjoy them. I don't. Yeah. But okay, so in my knockoff designer bag, which is like falling apart.
Abused.
Well, I think it's not the greatest materials, so it tears easily.
Right.
So, this is Luz, L-U-Z, for light. She is from my Cyrano the Bookworm pattern that I designed. And I use my bookworms, for those of you who are new, I use my bookworms on the top of the curtain rod to block the light from coming up towards the ceiling because I have a lot of light sensitivity and I get migraines. So, with even with the blackout curtains, the problem was the light would go up over the curtain rod and hit the ceiling.
Right.
My different bookworms prevent that from happening.
Right now she has one of mine. My ginormous one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make two in order to... I have another one on the needles to be...
on the hook.
I'm sorry, on the hook, yes. The other one's name is Candy. So Candy and Luz will be together. Because Cyrano and... I'm still trying to remember the name of the other one. They're together on theirs.
Yeah, I don't remember what you named them. You had so many going for a while there.
Yeah, because I took out the one that was in the scratchy yarn.
I don't know if I took out mine or not. Did I take mine out?
I know you were talking about it.
I didn't want to do a bookworm right then, you know?
But I do like... Normally this is not a colorway I would have gone with, but it's perfect for the bookworm.
That's a Miss Babs.
It is a Miss Babs. I think also the repeats aren't super short for this.
Well, it's more like pops than variegated.
Exactly. I mean, you do have the blue and the green, which it's almost like a semi-striping here.
Right.
And then you have the pops of the black and pink.
Well, it pools. It pools, and then it's got these pops.
So I really like the way that turned out. And then, of course, the purple glasses really pop on there.
Purple glasses. Fashionable or die, right? Should have called it Davina. She'd be highly offended.
Yes.
I'm not a worm. Hold on, let me...
I remember what the other one looks like. I wish I could remember his name
What
because
color
he
was
was in your yarn.
Which one?
Yellow and red. It was.
Oh,
Did I call him Masty?
nasty.
Masty. Masty. I can't remember.
No, it was something... I thought it was something to do with the sun.
No, nothing to do with the sun.
You should have it in your notes.
Yeah, but it's way back when. I'd have to go look back pretty far. I'm not sure when I was working on him.
Okay. I apologize. I have to be gingerly with my show notes because, again, I didn't get my Kindle document. For whatever reason, it wouldn't go through, so I'm doing it off my email, and it tends to be wobbly. All right. In my Silver Shed USA black and blue Star Wars bag is my On the Garden Path scarf project. Actually, it's a cowl, probably. And maybe not. Maybe it's a scarf. I don't know. I haven't decided. And this is the one where I'm just kind of winging it because it's James C. Brett, and it's a really beautiful color, but it doesn't show the pattern I was doing. So when I kind of got lost, I said I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. It's going to be kind of a sampler, and, you know, just do it until it's done, you know, and when I think it's done, and then I'll, you know, give it to charity for someone. I think they'll like it. It'll be warm. Just have to make sure that I do my garter edge here so it doesn't curl. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, let me take my stitch marker so I don't lose my stitch. Okay, so next for me is Canary Song. This is in my nice and soft pink and brown bag from There's Magic. The pattern name is Comfort Yourself with Your Music. It comes from Little Women Knits by Joanna Johnson.
She's amazing.
She is.
And I like seeing her stuff up. She looks happy.
It was the first time I've actually seen what she looks like.
Yeah.
So,
She's an itty bit.
I didn't get a ton of work, just a few rows here and there. I wasn't much into focusing on it.
You weren't much into focusing on it?
Focusing was an issue.
Well, it doesn't mean you weren't into it. You just couldn't do it. There's a difference.
So, yeah. This is going to be very nice and comfy when it's done.
Cool. I like that color. It'd be nice on you.
Oh, well, this is one of my favorites. Thank you.
I had a dress set that Daddy really liked, like a skirt and top. That was that color. He likes me in yellow. I don't like me in yellow.
You don't wear a lot of yellow, so... But our coloring is pretty similar,
yeah, it is.
and people said I look good in yellow, so I'm sure that you look fine. It's just that you never wear it.
I just don't like it on me. I think it brings out the sallow on my skin. But Daddy likes me in yellow, so occasionally. I don't think I have anything yellow right now.
I don't think you own anything yellow. I
Not
don't think I've
anymore.
ever seen you in yellow.
Yeah. It's just not something I like to wear. I think if I wore yellow, Davina would take offense.
Yes, there's certain things that she's determined are individual colors. Because you tend toward blues and greens are such a common color for anyone in the house to wear, I don't think she determines that you own that color. But it's gotten to the point, she used to like me in yellow, but now she's like, if it's yellow or red or orange, that's mine. I wear enough blue that...
She has opinions.
Yes. I wear enough blue that she's not really...
Although I can wear red and she doesn't say anything. Because I do wear a fair amount of red.
Yeah. I think it's most of the orange and yellow that she's determined is mine.
Yep.
Because I wear orange and yellow fairly often.
I don't generally wear orange. I do wear a fair amount of red in its various renditions. But let me see here. What's next? Stop this. I don't want to pull my stitch, but it's not going to let go of my stitch marker. There we go. Okay. Put this away. Pay attention to what I'm doing here. Okay. My next one. It's going to eat my project here. There we go. All right. My next one is... Oh, yeah. I didn't work on this last week. I don't know why. I mean, I should be finished with this. I can usually do these like a couple a day if I want to, but the preemie hat... It's on my Cindy Wood loom that Laura Concert gave me a while back. And I know I promised I would do other things, but right now this is something that I don't have to stress about. I can just kind of just do it, you know.
Right.
And it's plain, and I can make the yarn do the work. So I've got about an inch to go on this because it's a preemie size, and I only need about 5 inches. So this has about maybe an inch to go before I can go ahead and, you know, bind it off, take it off and bind it off, however you do the order. And this is just a simple Hobby Lobby, because they have pretty yarns. It works up like this. So I have to put that in the box that goes wherever I'm going to send it. You know, yeah. So that takes care of that.
Okie dokie. So for me,
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, type.
Yes,
This
ma'am?
is a Kikiboo Holiday Owls bag. The other one's my Ploverbird Mickey Mouse bag.
I'm not quite sure why I'm so tired. Maybe I should have gone with caffeine.
I'm tired too. I don't know. I
Oh,
think
okay. Maybe it's the
weather.
weather coming in. Because I'm sitting here like, I just trying to be good and not have too much caffeine at one time. But apparently, like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I feel like if I close my eyes, I'll go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in my Silverstead USA Kitties in the News bag. Ooh, foot cramp.
That's not fun.
Well, it's like I got it along the arch,
Mm-hmm.
and it startled me.
Well, those hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, they all hurt, but that hurts.
Let's see. I think that this one is new. I can't see the after picture. Let me see if I can find it in a different angle. Cause
What are you trying to find?
I'm just trying to find one particular story.
Oh.
In a different. Because sometimes they reprint the story in different parts.
Right. Well, yeah.
Um.
Oh, do you not have the whole thing on one side or what?
Yeah, I have a part of the story, but it takes away the other part. Like I can see all the writing, but I think I'm probably missing part of the picture.
Right.
So okay, I'm going to give you what I can because we're going to have the before picture, but we're not going to have the after picture.
Oh, was it like a weight
An
loss
extreme
thing?
makeover.
Oh.
Extreme Makeover Cat Edition. Some say it's the biggest catastrophe so far this season. Those collagen lips are ferocious. Others love the lashes and the non-Cheshire smile. She is kitty looking great, said one Tomcat. It's down to your vote. www.catlips.com. And like we can see her eyelashes, but we can't see the cat
right,
lips.
right.
And I was looking for a good after picture, but I couldn't find her after picture. So sometimes when we hit some of the less focused stories, we barely get the story, let alone all the pictures.
Ed did a great job getting as many.
Oh
as she
yeah,
did.
oh yeah.
It must be hard if she has a smaller bag because they're
Oh
big.
yeah, you probably just get like a couple stories. But in here is My Lake of Shining Waters. This is Anne's Sweater from Green Gables Knits by Joanna Johnson. And I'm using Andia Treasure in the Sapphire Heather colorway. So this is always a nice knit because it's just really fairly mindless. It never looks like it grows very much because it curls.
Right. It's a pretty color though.
Oh, I love this color.
I think Davina can't decide now if my color is green or blue.
Well, you can't decide if your color is green or blue, so that's no real shock.
I think it's a teal.
Mm-hmm. Well, that one that you have,
What?
I guess yours is Andy and Heather.
What are you talking about?
The one that you're making.
Oh, the
with
green.
this,
That's
the
a
green.
forest green, yeah.
That's gonna be gorgeous.
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of your colorway. I think it's.
I forget. I'd have to look it up. It's a real pretty color though.
It's a gorgeous
spruce.
color.
It's spruce.
It's not called spruce.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Check and see.
But yes, so this is gorgeous. Let me find the end of my needle. And eventually I'll finish it. It's just that I mostly knit on it when I just need a fairly mindless
It'll
thing.
be finished when it's finished.
And also I've been focusing on other projects a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason
That are not
that.
for me.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Just finish
yes,
This row.
the sweater mania is still going strong.
I don't like doing sweaters. I've come to that conclusion.
Whereas I do really enjoy sweaters. I had lost that for a little while.
I like having the sweaters.
Uh-huh.
I don't necessarily like doing them.
Well, I'm happy to be able to have that back because I really have always enjoyed knitting sweaters. The problem is knitting sweaters is expensive.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do the crochet ones, because crochet takes more yarn.
Mm-hmm.
I can do a crocheted sweater. I've done 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes so much yarn. You know? And let me just...
Well, just like you were saying, blankets are your, really what you started with. Sweaters for me was really a big, my thing when I got started.
Right. All right, let me get my next one here.
I should mark off my row.
In my Mama C large owl bag, because I get spoiled by our PH others. I love this bag. This is my large one. She gave me a medium one a while back, so I have a set. It's like a luggage set. I love it. So this is awesome. And this is my my bag end wrap from the Burrow Wrap by KF Jones. And I think I did maybe 2 rows on this. I'm in the middle of a row. But you can see it is growing. It's still the same color, but it is growing. And if I just sit down, I can probably finish this color in maybe a sitting or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I'm about, let's see. Yeah, I've got about maybe 20 rows to go. So maybe it might be a little more than a day or 2. But
I like it better in the DK.
yeah. This is very
without
nice.
having to do the 2 fingering held together.
Yeah, I don't do, in knitting, I don't do 2 held together. It's going up to the next, and if it's going to be marled, then I'll buy a marled yarn, okay? So this is, or whatever.
I'm actually not a huge fan of marled, so.
Yeah, so this is, and I have the colors here are, let's see. It's Dragonfly Fibers in Kelpie, and I don't know what the others are at the moment. I have down here that might be Miss Babs. I don't know. So.
Alrighty, so next for me, let me go ahead and put my stitch on. Okay, so next for me is the Puget Sound. This is the Fundamental Men's Pullover by Jen Hagen. Knitting this for Dad using Cascade 220 worsted in the colorway Puget Sound. And it's in my Silver Shed USA Bat Signal bag. Come here. Oh, this one's always a bit heavy. There we
Got
go.
it right?
Yeah.
Don't knock over your teeth.
Well, I've drunk enough of it, it would be taking a little bit more effort too. So, I actually did a fair amount of work on this. I do that when I'm not feeling well as well, because it's a very simple, and there's the progress is a little bit easier to see because it's bigger needles and bigger yarn.
Right. Are you doing that in a worsted?
This is a worsted. And I'm using like US 10s or something. Yeah, US 10s.
Oh, that's quite a big needle.
But
for
you
worsted.
feel the
Oh, that's going to be nice.
that's gonna be nice.
It's going to be warm, but not overly heavy.
Right, exactly. This is actually a rather nice weight for
For a winter sweater.
Right, especially since guys always wear it over
Something else.
something else.
And, that's the kind of sweater that if it's a nice, crisp fall day, you can put that on over a shirt and you're probably okay.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Maybe for the most
it's a
part.
pieced sweater. And as you see, I've already started the shaping for the arms. I have a few more inches before I have to separate for the shoulders. And then I'll be doing the back.
That's terrific.
I'll be doing the front. This is the back. So
It'd be interesting to see what the difference is between the back and the front. Probably a little bit difference in the collar.
Well, I think also the front's going to be a little bit shorter because the back, you're going to have the shoulders coming and you hold stitches. So unless the seam is right here, I guess it could be right
Could be,
here.
yeah. That's why I would think it would be.
But usually there's at least a little bit more of a dip here for the collar.
Yeah, unless they're having a, I think it's a crew neck.
Even crew necks have a little bit more in the front, and it tends to be a little bit up higher in the back.
I've seen both, where they've had it's almost imperceptible, the difference. Okay, and that got me through the stitches, so I'm going to get...
So yeah, and this is a pretty color. And I've had this yarn forever. I feel like I have a nail that's trying to catch yarn.
Okay.
There we go.
Put this here. All right,
So,
my next one.
let me just clip my needles off.
Okay.
And he doesn't know about this.
No. Okay, my next one is kind of in the same vein. This is in my Knitting's My Bag, Monet Serrat bag, because I know what it is, but I like to call it Monet anyway. This is my Stormy Weather sweater from the Fundamental Woman's Pullover by Jen Hagen Designs. This is on Lovecraft. And I'm using US 7s because I'm doing Miss Babs, which is a DK weight.
Right. I'm doing a heavier weight yarn.
And I've just started doing the stockinette. So, you can't really see it.
No, you're a little too early on.
So, but that's it.
And your sweater's actually has the potential to go faster just because it's a smaller sweater.
But I also have smaller needles.
You do, but it's a smaller sweater because it's a female sweater.
I know that, but I've got lighter yarn and smaller needles. So it could be close if I was working at the same speed that you are. I don't know. But anyway, I've got this just the beginning of stockinette right up here at the top. And it's going to be miles and miles of that for a while. I think I have to go to like 14.5 inches from the cast on. So that's that.
Okay, so in my Silver Shade USA Oops is a Bunny bag, drinking game, is my Royal House sock. It's for me, and it's the Dance All Night socks. So I still only have the first one that I've been working on. And I do like this color a lot. I'm not sure if you can see on the screen the purple.
That's really pretty.
It's like a purpley, greeny, bluey.
Did you say what was color again?
This is Matosh.
But what color?
I don't think I have the colorway. I think it's it's one of those one of a kind ones
right. Because that's really pretty.
Because I got two. It came with two. They're very similar. I don't like I said. I don't think it's a colorway that I know the name of because I had picked up that box of Give Me Random and they gave me a bunch of purples and greens. But this one is really pretty. And I had nothing really planned for it, and I was just looking for something drastically different from what I was doing for Moms.
I forgot to pull one of my projects out.
Go ahead and, you want to grab it?
No, it's okay. I had reverse progress on it. So
but you'll just mention it.
I'll just mention it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll mention it while she's sitting there doing that.
There we go.
My comfy cozy shawl from the Anastasia Zattel. I just realized that I was doing the wrong stitch on the ends. So I pulled it back a couple rows. I didn't have a chance to really start up too far again, but I did do that. Okay. Let's see here.
Well, when you work on that on the Cerebell, I know you get confused sometimes.
Okay, my next one is my...
Actually, that was one for you, right? Or did you not count that in your count?
I didn't count it.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was saying I missed it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead then.
Do you want me to...
No, go ahead, because then you're right.
My Woodland Stroll shawl from the Walking to Town pattern, and this is the Emma Knits collection by Joanna Johnson. And I think I got a little off count. I mean, I'm on count now. I think I'm going to have to do this row twice now because somehow I ended up with the number of stitches for the row before. So, but I don't think it's going to be an issue, okay? It's in my awesome Granny Firefly bag that Margaret gave me very generously. And the yarn is Tempting You Yarns. I think it's the Chocolate Truffle or something like that colorway.
It's a really pretty colorway. Plus it got sparkle.
It's sparkly. It's Chocolate Truffles. So I only did the one row because I wanted to figure out my count. But here it is.
Some things where I tend to get off count a lot, I tend to place markers like every...
Well, this was so short, so small, and I might just rip it all out and start over again because I am so...
Right, you're not very far along.
I'm not very far along. I might just take this out, but I'm looking forward to having this. I like this color.
I need to finish working... I need to get back to working on mine. Because mine's really a pretty color too.
You can't really see the color on this. Let me get one of the skeins out. It's kind of a browny, purpley
and it's really not showing as pretty as it is in person.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And I will tell you, if you ever have the chance to buy her yarn, she is really...
I've really enjoyed every yarn of hers.
I enjoy her yarn, but more than that, I enjoy the fact that she's honest.
She is very honest.
I'm not saying that people aren't honest.
No.
But she goes the extra. Like I said, I've had this story before, but for the benefit of people who are newer. When we went to the last Fiber Festival, I bought this, the last one was 2 years ago that we went. And I asked her, I had like a ton, I had like an armload of yarn. I asked if they all went together, and she said, no. She said, I wouldn't put those together. And I put about half of them back, and I bought the rest of them. But now, if I want to get something, I'll go there because I know if I ask her something, she'll tell me the truth.
And they now have a website.
They
didn't have one before.
Excuse me. They now have a website. So if you ever get the chance to try Tempting You, not only is it good yarn,
and it's Tempting EWE. Yeah.
Not only is it a good yarn, it's also a proprietor you want to do business with.
Mom, do you have her label? Because that will really help people as well. Because her label
I showed
is
it
unique.
to them. Let me show it again here. This is their.
So you write in tempting you and you being EWE, and if you see that picture, you know you're in the right spot.
And this is the Uso DK and Sparkly. And this is a 75-25 Superwash Merino Nylon Sparkly.
I've used that base before for Davina, I think. Most of the theirs that I've used, it's been for Davina.
So-
I know I have some as well that's just sort of sitting there for me.
Yeah, she really impressed me with,
Oh yeah, I would totally go to her again. Okay, so it's my turn. All right, so this one, it was kind of sort of I've had the yarn sitting there in my Knit Picks cart for a while. I had to pick up. I think I mentioned last time or time before, I lost some of the magnets. I found one of them.
Right.
For my charts when I have to print out like for a sweater or something. I don't like to work sweaters off of my Kindle because I like to circle my sizes.
Right.
And it feels a little bit more comfortable to me to have that in paper form. Sometimes I just like having it in paper form. And I've been printing patterns a little bit more lately because sometimes the screen hurts my eyes and I want to have a paper form of a pattern.
Makes sense.
But if I have two patterns the same, I might just keep it in one of the bags and just refer back to the other one unless I think I'm going to just be going somewhere with only one of them. But regardless, when I went and picked up the magnets, I also was like, Davina, every time I wear a cabled sweater, asks...
Where's your cable sweater?
Well, she doesn't do that quite anymore, but she
was wanting one.
She's always wanted a cable sweater. She's always liked my zipped cable one. It's the Vivian pattern by Yosalda Teague. And I told her point blank, I am not knitting that again. That was quite complex. I love you, but no. I knit that as a very new knitter. But she mentions how much she likes it every time she sees it. Well, I found a pattern. I'll show you. This is actually a bulky weight yarn, which is part of what sold me on it. I'm not sure if it'll show up to its full prettiness in this picture. This is the Hillcrest coat, and it's by Amy Miller.
Beautiful, beautiful sweater.
It's got a zipper, which I know she likes because I think it's part of what she likes about the. I think it's part of what she likes about the Vivian. And what happens is there's cables along either side of the zipper, and there's cables on the back. But the rest of it is plain, so it's not quite as complex as the Vivian was.
It'll be enough.
Yeah, because on the Vivian there was cables on the sleeve. Now there's no cables on the sleeve. Yeah, it doesn't look like. In the Vivian there was cables on the sleeve. There was cables all over on the Vivian. There was no rest. There's a little bit of rest sections in this. And what I'm using is, let me show you full skein that hasn't been wound up. This is Swish Bulky Weight. My only complaint is this didn't come in like all pretty like this. I had to do this myself because I had one skein that got really tangled that Mom had to take care of for me. But this is Swish Bulky Weight in Cobblestone Heather. So really pretty. I want to show you the gauge swatch first, and I did get gauge.
Shows the pattern really nicely.
It does, because I didn't think it would.
Isn't that pretty?
And now I'm missing like one part of the chart, but
You're missing one part of the chart.
it's not wide enough.
Oh, right. Uh-huh. Were you supposed to do that?
I could have. Honestly, I didn't care enough. Because I got gauge on stockinette. I'm not going to change it for the cable section, which is right next to the stockinette section. It's just like, that's not going to happen. You don't change in the middle of a row.
If you have interchangeables.
But
Oh, you made a lot of progress on it.
yes, I did. Because actually it isn't, you'd think it'd be really complex, but it's fairly simple.
Is that big enough?
It comes from it's shaping.
Oh, it's top down.
It's top down. So think of it like.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was bottom up. So
No.
Okay.
I'm still doing increases.
Right.
So my
Isn't
cables
that
are
pretty?
going like this.
Isn't that gorgeous?
So. And there's, so many stitch markers. Some to mark where cables are, some to mark where increases are supposed to be. Making good use of the ones that you gave me that were, much of this was Mummy, or if it was meant to be Stargate.
Probably Stargate.
I think you're probably right.
I don't think they do mummies.
So, this is also US 10s. I have a lot of things in US 10s right now, it feels like.
Well, you're doing a lot of heavier weight yarn.
But yeah, this got a decent amount of work, like I said, and it's gonna be nice. It's not a hard cable on the back, and it's only a short section. Like I said, then it has this little section that'll be right by the zipper. And I have plenty of experience placing zippers, so.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet on knitted stuff. I've done buttons on occasion, but not zippers.
I've put zippers. Well, all the zippers have been put in successfully. One I just didn't.
Yeah,
the very first
size.
one, yeah, I didn't have the right kind. I accidentally for the very first one got one that didn't open all the way. It was like if you only wanted to zip it down partway to pull it over your head or something.
Like a V-neck or something.
Yeah. So I learned from that experience, and plus that was my very first one for putting zippers in. So it might have been a little bumpy, but the two that I own that are currently still have their zippers is a Vivian, which I wear all the time, and the other one I actually wear fairly often too. It's my white one.
Right. I like that one. That one's soft.
It is very soft.
That one's
Actually,
soft.
it's an acrylic
It
and
is.
wool blend.
It's really
It's
soft.
that eco whatever.
That's a dynamite yarn.
It's a really nice yarn to. It's a little splitty to work with, but it's a nice yarn.
That would make a nice blanket.
It probably
That
would.
yarn, it would. If somebody just wants to snuggle up in it, it's soft.
It is a very, and the thing is, I need to wash it probably at some point, but it's one that I'm not as worried about because I know it's acrylic. I probably would still do it.
Wash it on gentle and lay it flat or something.
Yeah, because it has it's another one that has. Although it doesn't have the cables down the arm or anything, I don't think. I have to try to look at it. It might have cables down the arm. It's not quite as complex as the Vivian, but it is pretty complex.
Yeah.
But this is really soft too, though.
Not as soft as that, though. That was like a cloud. It was just amazing. Yeah.
Well, and that one probably was why that one was so splitty. This one's a
plied
little
very-
bit splitty.
Probably wasn't plied very tight.
No, I don't think it was.
'Cause I'm not a spinner, but I think the tighter the ply,
Yes, the more of a
less-
workhorse
yeah,
it is.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. My next one is a new one, because I started a couple things. And in my Silver Shed USA TMT bag, and you're going to notice that this goes into another project that I'll talk about later. Vaguely. Vaguely, yeah. This is my, this is the wrong bag.
Did you just write down
No,
the wrong
I
one?
just got the wrong bag because they're both green.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is my Arwen's Hooded Cowl from the Thorin's Hooded Cowl pattern by I don't know.
I've never written it down, so
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Epifanora? I don't know. I'm using Chow Gu Red Lace Circular US 10 and Miss Babsa Yowza in the blue slate colorway. And I just cast on.
Have you joined yet, or
No,
you
I
waiting
haven't,
for me?
I haven't joined yet.
Do you feel like you can see better now?
Yes, for those of you who are new to the podcast or who weren't necessarily paying attention as I was blathering, I had these on US 10s on a 24-inch cable like they asked, and it was so tight. I couldn't see the stitches. I twisted the stitches. I'm not saying that's the reason I twisted the stitches, but I'm sure it didn't help.
It didn't help.
So this is a 32-inch cable.
Oh, that'll be fine, I think.
So this, I need to get like a bobbin or something because I had a little more left over than I expected.
Well, I did that initially where I kind of made a yarn bobbin, but then eventually I just cut it till just weave-in end.
Right.
And then I have that little extra strand if I happen to need it for yarn later.
Let's see here.
Because it's not doing any good just hanging out there anyway. Oh, wow. You really do have quite a bit
Yeah,
more.
I'm not sure why I have
Here,
that
let me pull
much.
some scissors out of here and help you cut that.
Let's see here.
I know I have scissors in one of these bags.
And this is the colorway that, when I picked up the slate that I like so much, that gray slate that I have my sweater in, this was on sale, and I never saw it before. I've never seen this color from Miss Babs before. I don't know how I missed it. So I picked up 2 of these. So I have enough even if I cut this yarn.
Well, let me find my other one. And it's not like you're throwing it away. You know, you can wind it even onto the other one. You know, it could be part of the dishwasher just in case.
Well, it's not that much. It's only about,
All right, so it must be in a different bag. I know I have scissors in one of these bags. Ha! This one probably. Yes. It's like playing Where is the, where's Waldo? Here.
about there, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So, yeah, so this is, I think this is going to be really pretty in the Thorin's Cowl.
I think so too.
I'm calling it, as I said, Arwen. If you look on the Lord of the Rings stuff, you'll see Liv Tyler in this. It's a little more purple than this, probably closer to my sweater. Mm-hmm. But the feel of it is fine, and I didn't want to do another gray thing, even though I like that color. I'm already working in something in that color, so this would go well on Arwen as well, with those blue eyes of hers. So this is Arwen's hooded cowl.
That'll be very nice. It'll be fun for you to work.
Yep.
You're doing version 2, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Once I get it joined. So, let me see here.
So, much in the same vein, for me, in my Cloverbird Many Tardai, I guess Tardai is plural for TARDIS.
Yes.
Bag is my Lothlorien hood. And this is another Thorin's Cowl. This one's for me. My thought process was, and this is also version 2. I needed something, the Thorin's Cowl that I have is white with like pops of orangish kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It doesn't go with a lot of my clothes. It goes if I wear orange. Also, I see where I did the 3 needle bind off in the wrong. I did it on the outside instead of the inside.
I have to bring it to you when I get ready to do this. You can make sure I don't do that.
Well, what I did was, instead of following the directions and putting the wrong sides together, or I putting the right sides together, I put the wrong sides together, so that's why the seam's on the wrong side.
Right, okay.
I just didn't follow the directions. But this is
shocking
Berlin.
That's a really beautiful colorway. That's
I'm
Miss
pretty sure
Babs.
it's Berlin, and this is Miss Babs. Because I don't think I actually have the ball band anymore.
I had a scan of that for a while. I don't know what I did with
You
it.
gave it to me because you wanted me to put it in your On the Forest Floor.
Oh, and
I did, and you let me keep
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I'm also doing version 2, and it kind of just makes me think of, you know, those Lothlorien cloaks always blended in wherever they needed it to. So this kind of looks like it's changing colors to blend in somewhere. Mm-hmm. I just think of, you know, the 3 hunters when they're trying to look for Pippin and Merry, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. They blended so well into the grass because of their cloaks. This doesn't show up in the movie, so you might not remember this.
No, the one I remember is when Sam, I think it was Sam, who tumbled down the hill in at Mordor, and you know, Frodo and Sam used the cloak to cover themselves, and they can't be seen by the orcs.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember if that was in the book or not, because it's been a while since I've read that particular one, but I know for a fact in the book they weren't using the cloaks, it just happened to hide them because they didn't, Eowyn didn't see them until Aragorn actually stands up and says something, Riders of Rohan, and they all turn around and surround them. And that's where you get the scene that you remember from the movie.
I love, this is a scene we're talking about off camera.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes from the movie.
They always make Gimli look stupider than he is, but...
Who?
Gimli.
Yeah.
And they always try to make Legolas, like, I don't know, super cool and relatable or something. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of all their characterization choices, but...
I think he did all right.
It's decent. It's not... He didn't ruin it as much as he did The Hobbit.
Yeah. Well, I think he did a great job getting Aragorn. And as much as... I like John Rhys Davis as a Gimli. I just wish they hadn't made him so much comic relief.
Yes, I felt like they did Gimli a disservice. He just looked stupid most of the time. John Rhys Davis looked like Gimli. That would have been who I would have chosen.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wish they made different writing choices for that character. And I wish they'd given Merry and Pippin
their due.
Because...
even Frodo, I mean...
And Frodo, yeah. Honestly, Sam's the only one who got his due. Like,
well, Aragorn did as well.
Yeah, although they made Aragorn reluctant, and he never was reluctant.
Right.
Because he couldn't be because he couldn't marry Arwen unless he became king, because Elrond wasn't going to just let her go with him if he was just going to be a ranger still. So he actually really wanted to be king.
I thought that Boromir came off really well.
Boromir did. Faramir got the shaft.
Faramir didn't show as well as he did in the book. Anyway, all right, I guess it's my turn.
Yes. Eowyn actually got a pretty good showing.
She did. She did get a good... let me just... I want to get here to the point where I was before necessarily here. Did a little bit of work. Let's see. There. Okay. Did I just start a new row?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I did just start a new row. Okay.
I just finished one. So
There,
let me go
all
ahead and mark mine off.
Okay. This is what happens when I do Kay's pattern, this particular pattern, as I get going on a roll and I forget to mark it.
Yeah. Yep. She usually is good about saying you need so many garter ridges.
I don't like to count that because I get off count all the time.
Oh, Mom, garter ridges are easy to count.
Yeah.
You don't count individual rows. You just count the ridges. That's 2 stitches.
Yeah, I know, but I get mixed
Or
up.
two rows.
Still, I don't know how to do that very well. Whoops, there goes my stuff. Okay.
It's easy. It's easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
Okay, in my Silver Shed Green Star Wars bag is another new project. And this is the Mad Hatter Cowl from the Cerebell pattern by Sarah Sweethearts, because I didn't realize I had a Cerebell going. And besides, I got this yarn. It's actually a stash enhancement. So, here it is.
I think that's going to do that yarn a lot of justice.
I had no idea what to do with this. When Taya gave
Well,
it
though
to me.
you actually mentioned a Cerebell for it.
Yes. So, yeah, that's what this
Because
is.
I was initially going to do a Thorin's cowl in this, and Mom's like, well, it doesn't really go with much of your clothes. How about we do a trade? And she said, I'll use this for Cerebell. And she gave me this other one after she was sure that she had one for her own cowl. I now have the Balin's cowl. And I started over again because this is where Mom had twisted her stitches. I'm actually doing version... There's one, two. Version 3, I think. Let me make sure. Version 3. Because I didn't want all of them to be the same version. That would get really boring really quick. And I think this one I might actually do the cables. Like I said, you could do the cables on the garter edge. It might actually even block light a little better because it's thicker.
Thicker, yeah. I don't know if the cables will show very well in that, though.
I'm not meaning for it to show a whole time. It'll show better than it will on the one that's multicolored.
Right.
So I knew if it has to be either of them, it has to be this one. So this is, I can't remember the name of this colorway. It is Miss Babs as well. It's what Mom uses, and this is the Balin's hood.
That's not something love.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I've knit a shawl out of this before, but yeah, and it's Balin's best detachable party hood, to quote the Hobbit, because they all came in with their best detachable party hoods. And Balin's was red, so he was always my favorite.
Yeah.
And I've actually made quite a bit of progress. It's almost equal to my Lothlorien one. And they're both different, which keeps my interest going. If they had both been exactly the same, I might have gotten bored.
I have to see if I can get my, I might have Talia help me join it just so I don't have to do it over again. Mm-hmm. And then go from there. Because it's not hard. It doesn't look like.
No, it's not hard.
So.
You just have to follow the directions. And if you get, the only time where you might get a little confused is around the hood section. And I'll, I can sit there and show you. Or explain to you.
Yeah, if I need it.
Yeah.
Which is quite possible with patterns. It's kind of the way I roll.
But yeah, that's it. For that, let me just mark off. Sorry, I'm gonna get my stitch marker out of here because I'm done working on this one right now. Yeah. I want to work on my cowl.
I made this one a little wider, maybe in the hopes of it being a scarf for somebody. I probably won't keep it because I don't generally wear this kind of colors.
And I couldn't tell how excited Davina was with that. I think it's not spring enough for her.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't...
She does that she did that non-committal thing she does sometimes.
Yeah, so I knew that wasn't something she was going to want because I thought maybe I could make her something with this, but she...
It'd be good for charity.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens. I don't like to use Miss Babs necessarily for charity. It's a little on the expensive side for that.
Right, it might also not be the best for lasting.
Yeah. Well, it'll last. I mean, it's
But
just,
they don't necessarily know how to wash it.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's super wash, but okay. Now, when I showed you my Balin's cowl, and you saw Taya's, my Arwen's cowl and Taya's Balin's cowl, you got the idea that what I was going to say now is what I frogged, and that was the Balin's hooded cowl.
Right.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to do? You have FOs, don't
I
you?
have FOs, yes. I think it worked well that your Lothlorien did come before this, because it would have been kind of awkward if I'm like, or not your Lothlorien, your Arwen. It would have been kind of awkward if I was like, yeah, here's Balin.
Yeah. If people remembered.
Yeah. Yeah, you weren't very far along in it.
Well, it got twisted, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I know you were a little concerned about joining initially. Okay, so I do have a couple of those because there's a couple of gifts I needed to give. So, ruining a surprise right now, which because it's not really a surprise. Mom's not allowed to have this till tomorrow for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So she has her Sunday Funnies house socks
I
and
love
the Dancing All Night socks. I'm
Love
so
that.
glad to be done with this colorway.
Looks like I have a nice long leg on that.
Oh, it always does.
I guess it does. Mine always are falling down.
Well, that's what they're
'cause
supposed to
slouching.
do. They're supposed to do that.
I just absolutely love it.
Because they're made to be super stretchy. They're meant to be kind of like leg warmer style.
Which is perfect for someone who grew up in the 80s. Not grew up, but it's a young adult in the 80s who did
And
all the
these socks are
aerobics.
super comfortable. You wear them over other socks, and they're just really nice. Now, I tend to wear my knitted socks unless they're really super fitted. I tend to wear them over other socks anyway.
I do too.
But yes, she doesn't get this till Mother's Day. And then the other one, I finished Davina's. You can see where in the other one I have a ridge here for the join.
Right. And it doesn't look bad.
I think it looks better without it. If with the ridge where it's supposed to be. So this is Davina's Hood of Courtly Love. It's a birthday present. So she doesn't know I've actually finished this.
Just barely made it.
I had about a whole week. I'm gonna block it. I didn't want to block it before the podcast because I wasn't sure it'd be dry.
It's very pretty.
So I'll probably block it tonight. And she has the fish net lace.
Does it have a shorter...
It's a little shorter.
yeah.
This isn't like the version 2 is meant to kind of
Be almost like a cowl.
you can wear it like a cowl.
Yeah. That's
This
what I
one's
want.
a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Just like my red one's going to be a little bit shorter. It's meant more to cover the neck. But
a
every once,
scarf.
every once in a while, I do feel like I just don't want it quite as much
Right.
around my neck if I'm hot, but I still want the
Right.
hooded effect. And it'll probably grow a little bit when I block it.
Sure.
And this is Mom's yarn. And also, I think it's smushing a little bit more because the lace is actually drawing in.
I like the variation in that. It turned out well.
It was a lot of fun to work. And it might, like I said, it's going to grow a little bit when I block it.
She'll love that.
Well, she was the one who asked for it. She better love it.
No birthday gifts for you.
So,
Birthday gift Nazi.
the sweater for her is meant to be like a gift for multiple, like next Christmas and next birthday. Although she's getting a Christmas stocking for Christmas.
Yeah. Well, it'll just be something she ties her over, so she, so
Right.
she doesn't feel like she's missing out. She's, in some ways, she's very much a kid in that she, if she doesn't get something, she'll feel like she's not,
And I'll print out a picture of the sweater on Christmas so she sees what she's getting.
right.
Dad thinks it's a bad idea because he thinks I'll get pestered out.
I think it's a bad idea too.
You think so? Just give
Yes.
it to her when it's
Yes.
done.
It's finished when it's finished.
Okay.
Because she will, where is it? Especially as long as it's cold out.
Yeah.
And it's not because she's a pest. It's because, well, there's that.
Let's be honest here.
But she doesn't have the time sense that we have.
I remember when I would come home from work and she'd ask how her toy was going. I'd be like, I worked all night. I didn't work on it.
Yeah, she doesn't have that time sense because that's something that's difficult for her.
Yes.
So there's your tidbit for autism awareness.
But yeah, so that is that. I'm going to block it tonight. And, she doesn't usually go in my room because she's been a lot better about she's been actually really good about texting, or she'll call goodnight through the door. She actually doesn't come in very often.
She takes her big sister responsibilities very seriously, and her helping. Now that she's getting, I'm sure she can't hear me. Now that she's getting a little more responsibility, I've had to depend on her more since Talia can't do as much. She's, as much as she's able, she's stepping up to the plate.
And I think it really, the conversation we had the other day explaining about how to help best, actually, she's really taken that to heart. She doesn't just tell me that I can't do something. She asks me now if she can do something for me.
Right.
Instead of just being bossy.
Yeah, if we always try to see what a silver lining is in any kind of difficult situation, and that's been a real silver lining for us in that she's
blossomed.
She's growing. You know, I mean, she's not ever going to be quote unquote normal. You know, if for lack of a better term, I don't really like saying it that way.
She's not necessarily. She's never going to get to a maturity level of
a normal 30
of someone of her age who doesn't have her conditions.
Right. It's just the way it is, and that's fine. That's what she is, and we wouldn't change it. But she, within her parameters of her disability, she's really grown, and she's doing well. She's been very helpful and stuff. So, okay, so that's enough blathering about that.
Okay, so then that leads us on to, I can never remember if we do shop news or stash enhancement. I think it's usually shop news.
Is it?
I can't remember. We'll just say shop news because I know I don't have a ton of shop news. Oh, I do. I have a sale.
I don't really have any. I keep saying I'm going to put things into the shop. I haven't had a chance to take pictures because last week Mike was in the hospital, and then this week, the beginning of this week, I had to prepare for my parents coming for a little bit, and then I was wiped out. I think I slept. I took a couple of naps, and I had a real issue even getting crocheting and knitting done. I have a class.
Tax stuff.
Oh, that was the big one, the tax stuff.
Yeah, because I think that really ate up a lot
that
of
was
your
the big
time.
one, the tax stuff. But that is done. So it was. I'm hoping to get the pictures done sometime this week and start putting more stuff in the shop, and then maybe starting to dye more yarn. I did get to the people who asked me specific questions about yarn. If you haven't received the message because you haven't been at either at PHN or wherever it was you contacted me, check your messages either on PHN or however it was you checked with me, and you'll get your response, because I did answer both of you, and we'll go from there.
And I mentioned in passing really quickly that I have a sale. It's a 20% off any of the rosaries in my shop for the month of May. So go if you like rosaries, and I think also the Memoir Chaplet has that sale too. I actually forgot I did have beads and string. That leads very nicely to my shop news, because this is actually shop. These are orders. Someone ordered. This is actually one of my older listings. It's
St. Joseph?
Eye of the Vine.
On the vine.
It's a wood rosary with a kind of like a, I forget what I called this. It's kind of a brass, bronze. That's what I called it. A bronze centerpiece and crucifix, and he had ordered one tan cord with one, and okay, it is fairly even. I'm a little OCD about the evenness, but sometimes if you mess with it too much, and you have to start all over. If it's close enough to even, I mean, it's handmade. I don't want to pull on it and then risk having to do that knot all over again with less cord. So that one's done, and this he had ordered two of the ones with the dark green cord. This one hasn't been started yet, but I'm almost on I'm about to start the last decade for this one.
That's pretty. I like that.
Oh, I really do like the dark green on it. And these are both original colors that I had done this in before. Because like I said, this is one of my original listings. I think I had this one and a simple metal rosary as like my first two listings. I didn't have to begin with, other than the passion one, Behold the Man.
Right.
I had Behold the Man, I had this one, and I had a simple metal one before I started getting all the different centerpieces, because I didn't start with a lot of options to begin with.
You start off and see if there's a market, and then you go from there.
But yeah, then that leads us on to stash enhancements.
Okay, I already showed you my stash enhancement.
One of them is us together.
Right. This is a lovely gift.
So, and the red one, of course, is stash enhancement for me because Mom and I did trade. She gave me her red. I gave her my
Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter. Thank you.
This one.
You see, that's actually working really well because Cerebell does that a lot of justice. It looks like flowers and greenery, whereas it just kind of would have looked not as good in the knitted.
Yeah.
So, Stephanie gave us a huge old bag, 16 ounces, of Earl of Grey from the T-Spot.
Because she spoils us.
What I ended up doing is I took the bag that still had some in it and poured part of this into that, so Mom has a smaller bag so she has her own access so she can have it whenever she wants to.
Because we drink that a fair amount.
Right, and she never thinks of it unless I say something because she doesn't have it with the rest of her tea. So now she has a bag that we can refill. We'll probably go on picking up this size. And I'll always have a big one, but we'll just refill her little bag.
And we are very grateful to Stephanie for
thank you.
Getting us, making us aware
Keeping
of
us
this.
in the goods.
Keeping us in the goods, yes. Yes, thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you. The other stash enhancement is when Dad started drinking coffee again.
Keep it over there.
I don't think it's got that much of a scent.
Keep it over
I
there.
mean, I smell a little bit of coffee.
Nasty stuff.
I'm not going to drink it on the podcast or anything.
I threatened that I wouldn't co-host with her if she did.
This is going to be my morning. This is, for me, like, it's going to be for me like Mom's chai tea is for her. You know, it's a little bit of a heavier drink because I always drink my coffee with a decent amount of milk, Mikey's almond milk, or cream, because I otherwise get stomach cramps. And this is going to help with my cravings for chocolate covered coffee beans, which I love and can't have anymore. I made it a little strong this morning because I didn't fill the water enough. I mistakenly thought if I actually filled it to the 2-cup line instead of going with what my mug said, it would actually be what I needed it. And I realized, oh yeah, duh, I should put more water in there. It was fine. It was just a little bit stronger. I prefer it the way I had last night. And I also have coming in it's a vanilla, sweetened vanilla almond milk. So it'll,
that's for both of us.
That's for both of us.
I need to
She'll use it in some of her teas that are a little strong for her, and I'm going to be using it consistently in my coffee.
So I don't waste my tea that I have.
And it's slightly less calories than having a cup of tea in the morning, and actually, I feel less bad kind of leaving it and doing my thing. I feel like I need to really keep an eye on the tea a little bit more. Whereas coffee, once you set it up in there, it can sit there warming. I don't have to worry about it over steeping. And in the morning, that actually is a pretty good thing. Sometimes I have to get dressed or whatever, and it'll be sitting there waiting for me. I will have a little coffee maker. It comes with its own cup. Although they said you can use whatever one you want as long as it's,
a measuring cup or a cup?
No, it comes with a cup. It's a 15-ounce traveling mug.
Okay.
If I decide I don't like it, maybe tastes weird or whatever. Now, all coffee makers just say run water through it first time because otherwise it's going to have that plastic taste the first time. But I made sure that the one I would get, first of all, it was less than $30. So really good price. The ratings were amazing. And I want to make sure it wasn't a Keurig. I wanted the actual beans.
Coffee,
because I want to be able to make my own strength. And I know you could probably use another Keurig. Just give me old coffee beans. I can not coffee grounds. Coffee grounds. I don't like ground. I don't grind my own coffee. I can't really taste the caramelness. Maybe because I don't use sugar in my coffee.
Maybe.
If I don't taste it, if I try one more flavor coffee, I'm obviously going to finish it. It just tastes like coffee to me. But if I don't notice much flavor in the next flavor one I get, I'm just going to get, I still won't get a plain one, but I'll probably get like French vanilla coffee or something.
Which will just be highlighted by the...
That's my thought process, by the vanilla flavoring. Because that's a flavor I like anyway. But this is supposed to be caramel coffee cake. Sometimes I feel like I can taste a little bit of it, but I really didn't notice much of it. But yeah. And the little coffee maker, to get a different color, it was no more expensive than getting black.
She got red.
Yes.
Yep.
And what's nice about it, because it is so small, if I really wanted to, because I have my little tea heater thing on my desk, it would fit on my desk.
Daddy doesn't want you making coffee in that room.
Oh, okay. Even though it's the same as having my heater in there?
He doesn't want you to make coffee in there.
Oh, okay.
I told you you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's small enough that I can plug it in and then clean it out and take it back to my room. It's not a big deal.
You can keep it in there. He just doesn't want you to use it in there.
That's fine.
Because coffee, God forbid you knock it over, we'd have to replace the whole rug.
That's true.
So
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's a small little thing, which is exactly what I wanted. Apparently, if you really wanted to, if you traveled a lot, you could. There's a traveling, like, container that has spoons and everything in it that you could buy separate of it.
That's
that
cool.
your coffee maker and mug would fit in.
Well, the good thing about that is if you ever get to the point where you can go on retreat, you can bring it with you if you want to.
Yeah.
For the morning, you know?
Yeah.
You wouldn't take it with you to the retreat itself, but...
No. But it was for the morning. That might be nice.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do about tea for...
Yes,
Tea
for
snobs.
some reason it's a lot easier to cater to my less snobby coffee tastes. And I tend to be a frou-frou coffee person.
I don't like coffee. It's nasty.
I like coffee.
Nasty, nasty, nasty. Okay, where are we going to now?
Let's see. So next is... Oh, and good news is I haven't had any cramps for my stomach.
Well, like I said, it's only been a couple days, but hopefully that will continue.
Yeah,
if you
and
want.
I'm also not going to be doing a ton of it. And also the times when I usually have cramps is if I don't put enough milk in it.
Right. Well, I was very sad because this is more based on the caramel than the coffee. Martin's carries an ice cream that I can eat being lactose intolerant. And so I ordered the cookies and cream, I think it was, or cookie dough or whatever it was, and the salted caramel. And I forgot not to put don't replace. And I guess it didn't have salted caramel, so I didn't get my salted caramel. They gave me another cookies and cream, which is okay, but I wanted my salted caramel.
I just wish that they had, not that I need ice cream, but they had the coffee flavored ice cream and dairy free. I love coffee ice cream.
I think they do, Talia.
Do they?
They might. I'll check. Because the ones I have, you could eat.
No, there's lactose free, not dairy free.
No. Oh. No, it's almond milk. It's coconut milk.
Oh, okay.
It's coconut milk, and they have almond milk, they have coconut milk, and they have something else. I forget what
I
it
mean,
is.
I've had some of Ben and Jerry's flavors, and they do have a couple of my favorite ones in Ben and Jerry's that are dairy free. I think they have the, I want to say it was like, it might have been the strawberry cheesecake one. Maybe. I can't remember. It's been a very long time since I've had it.
I think So Delicious is the brand that has the dairy-free ice cream.
I appreciate that Ben and Jerry's made the effort, because that's a big name brand.
Yep.
And they honestly don't need to cater to the dairy-free community, so I appreciate that they tried.
It can only help them.
True, but some companies don't try.
Nope, they don't.
And with Ben and Jerry's, part of the draw is all the wacky flavors.
Right.
Oh, Cherry Garcia was the one I got. Because
People like that one, yeah.
I love Cherry Garcia. I think I couldn't get the strawberry cheesecake.
We need to move it on.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Doesn't that lead us on to... that leads us on to recipes and books. Recipes, I didn't bring the book with me.
Right.
But I'm from Gluten Free Dairy Free Cookbook. I'm going to be making, right after the podcast, I was going to make it yesterday, but I sent myself into a flare.
Not just a flare. She's sitting there hyperventilating.
Social Security gave me a ton of paperwork that I had to fill out all over again. It was a ton of it. And for some reason, instead of just letting me stick the papers in, after I scanned everything, which, took a little while and a lot of effort for
Why does she
me.
have to be to scan it? She doesn't
No. She doesn't have it. She scans it. I had to copy it.
Oh, okay. That's not what you said.
Sorry, after I copied everything, because I made a copy for my files, and then I took that copy and I faxed that because it's back and front, and I mailed them the original because I wanted to cover my bases. I didn't trust. I've had it before. If I mailed them something, they
say they don't get it.
They say they don't get it, so
I'll
I
be
don't
right back.
trust them. So I faxed it, but for whatever reason, our fax machine decided that it wasn't going to let me just hit a button and have it go. So I had to feed each page individually and then press scan, move next page, scan, move next page, and then it would fax it all at the end. It was a good 20-some pages, and it was thunderstorming outside, so the movements of grabbing each page and changing them out and kneeling that long was starting to make me get chest pain and get really lightheaded. I was having trouble catching my breath. Eventually, I was getting hand tingling, all that. So I was hyperventilating, as Mom said. And I couldn't finish the job. She had to take over for me. So no, there was no way I was going to be doing this recipe yesterday. But what it is it's from the Gluten-Free, Dairy-Free, Everything Gluten-Free, Dairy-Free cookbook. I do not remember the name of the person who wrote it, but if you look on Amazon, Everything Gluten-Free, Dairy-Free cookbook, you'll find her. Anyway, it's a, hey Mom, can you grab the Gluten-Free, Dairy-Free cookbook while you go by it? It's on the dining room table.
Got stuff on it.
That's okay. Because I don't remember the name of the recipe. It's not like it has any pictures. I just want to give them the right recipe name. Besides, I want to give them the name of the person who wrote
I don't
it.
know why you have it on peanut butter cookies.
The page probably flipped.
No, you had stuff on it.
That's weird. There's the one I want. Yeah, because we were doing the one... No, we were doing the one with chocolate buttercream. Hang on. There it is.
Yes.
Because you didn't want the vanilla with vanilla. You wanted vanilla with chocolate. Mm-hmm. So it's... The recipe's actually for cake, but we're going to be doing cupcakes. So what I'll do is I'll do it for the shortest amount of cooking time and then test because it's a smaller surface area, so it could cook through quicker. So it's a classic vanilla cake with chocolate buttercream, and it's all gluten-free, dairy-free. The book is by Audrey Roberts of MamaKnowsGlutenFree.com. I keep hoping she'll release another one because honestly...
She's really good.
Even though I'm doing most of my cooking from 5 dinners 1 hour, if I need a dessert, I do go to her. The only recipe that I really had that I really, really didn't like of hers was the tomato soup. It was too thick, and I
think it was a concentrate. And
yeah,
she didn't mention
and
it.
she didn't mention it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I've had other gluten-free, dairy-free places that do the same thing. The only one that I've had work out is one for 5 dinners 1 hour. But yes, this is gonna be a really good one. We just finished the cupcakes, the strawberry one, so we're gonna have more
that I made. Yeah.
And then next week we're gonna be making Davina's because she wants the. I know I have it marked. Hers actually has a picture, although we're not doing the icing like that.
No.
The easy gluten-free chocolate cake with chocolate buttercream frosting.
And that might also be cupcakes.
Yeah, my guess it probably will be. So we're going to have a lot of cupcakes in this house, which means a lot of tea time with cupcakes.
I'll have to see how about maybe freezing some of them.
I guess they freeze well. I don't know. I've never frozen.
So. I mean, you freeze wedding cake and stuff.
You see, I've never done that. I've
No,
never frozen cake, so I mean, I guess it makes sense. How did wedding cake taste after you freeze it? Does it?
It's fine.
Does it defrost?
It was
okay?
a whole year. Yeah, you have to be careful, I guess. But we because you keep the wedding cake a year and you eat it on the anniversary, your first anniversary.
And I've heard that tradition. I just didn't know if it would still have its nice moistness and.
It was good. I think Grandma kept mine in the freezer until she could send it to us because we moved, twice in that time period. We went to Arkansas and then we went to Texas, and carrying a cake like that would have been kind of disastrous. So I think she held on to it till we got to Texas, and she mailed it to us. So, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been disastrous. You moved to like the 2 hottest places you possibly could. But yes, so that's cooking wise. That next leads us on to books and stuff.
Okay, I finished book 5 of Timothy Zahn's Dragonbacks.
You have only one left.
I'm on book 6, yeah. And I'm still reading most of the other books I was reading.
Excuse me.
Reading Mother Teresa's little book, Jesus, Way, Truth, and Life, The Divine Office for Dodos. I'm doing that with Talia.
Yes.
Abandonment to Divine Providence. And then I've got...
I keep forgetting to put Divine Office for Dodos on my notes because I do when I'm doing it with you, I just forget.
Yeah, and then I have a couple other books. One is the mystery,
Murder in Belgravia.
Murder in Belgravia.
You're doing book 1.
Yeah.
Over 100.
And that's going pretty quickly. I'm also doing the cozy mystery that's in the library. I can't remember what it's called. I don't have it
the one
on
with
here.
The ghost?
Yeah, the one with the ghost. And I'm close to finishing that one. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm reading. I think that's it. I might have some other books floating around that are not, not. I just don't remember what they are because and I'm listening to when I sit down and do stuff. Right now, I don't have the brain space to watch something while I'm knitting. So right now, I'm listening to Hugh Fraser, who is Hastings on the Poirot series that we like so much. That we prefer the characters. You don't necessarily watch it.
Yeah, I don't like the way they handle the plots because they usually butcher them.
Right.
But I think that the actors are amazing, and I wouldn't want anyone else to play Poirot than Suchet.
And we don't want to get into that because we've done it multiple times. But my point is, he's reading, and I'm listening to The Hollow, and he.
And but he again was going to mean Hugh Fraser.
Yeah, he is amazing. He does the different voices. He almost has Suchet down.
That's
for
great.
Poirot. And he's got.
And what I remember, it doesn't sound, because sometimes when people try to do other voices, it just seems feels weird. And he does it well.
I think he could be a voice actor. He and maybe he is. I think he's British, and maybe he is, and I don't know because he. You don't feel like jarred out like. I mean, maybe with the women occasionally.
Right.
But
and that's always challenging.
Yeah, but he does a super good job. I love listening to him read. Of all the cast members of that series who do the reading,
yeah, I was really surprised when I preferred his reading to Suchet's.
Well, Suchet is an actor, but he's not necessarily a dramatic reader.
Right.
And so, I much prefer Hugh Fraser, and I don't mind Jap either when he's good too. But Hugh Fraser, I think, is the best of the three.
I'm wondering for Suchet, because he's very much of a character actor, he gets very much into his character. It's probably harder for him to pull out of one character and get into another because he really absorbs himself in that character.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic as Poirot. But I think my two favorite readers are probably Hugh Fraser and then Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, they're both very good readers.
For me, I haven't been listening to any books, but I finished reading Queens of the Crusades by Alison Weir. I finished the book Mom just started, The Murder in Belgravia, Mayfair 100 Mystery Number 1 by Lynn Brittany. I really have enjoyed that book.
It's a good book.
She does an amazing job giving you the setting of World War I London. Plus, her characters are really, they feel real.
They do. They all have distinct personalities. I just love that young man. The young police officer. I've got a definite picture of Billy in my head
because she does it. Because I'm not a really visual person, but I can picture his scar that he has from here all the way down to the side of his mouth.
Well, it's funny with Billy. When I say I can picture him, I pictured the general form, but I picture more. And this is going to sound weird, but it's from my fantasy background. I feel like if I walked in the room, I could get
you would
the
know
essence.
Him.
I don't necessarily recognize him visually, but I would get the feel of him.
Right.
And so he's a big guy. He's like 6'7".
And during that time especially, that's really...
I love the description of him eating that first night.
Yes, everyone's staring at him because...
Because he's a growing hope not growing. He's big enough as it is to put two cots together.
They did have to put two cots together. He wasn't able to sleep on just one.
The only one I haven't gotten a real good handle on yet is his name Arthur?
Oh yeah, he's a little. Well, he's just part of it is because he puts down a little bit of a barrier.
But I haven't gotten too much into the character yet.
I think you'll like him once you get to know him better. I actually have more trouble connecting with Victoria. Not because she's not well written. I just don't find her as enjoyable as some of the other characters.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that I'm necessarily I'm not necessarily saying connected right now. I'm just saying I feel like
you haven't met him really well. You haven't gotten to know him well enough.
Yeah.
Whereas Victoria, I think part of it is I want Caroline to.
Yeah.
I know that
but they're good friends.
They are good friends,
and it's just.
But I think I like Caroline better, so I have some cattiness toward Victoria.
Medical will go to medical.
Well, also I met Caroline first, and I heard about Victoria through Caroline, so. I think I'm biased towards Caroline, which means I'm a little catty towards Victoria, which isn't Victoria's fault.
Well, I feel bad for Victoria because...
And I do. I like Victoria.
I like Victoria. I feel bad for her. I think she's going to be a real good character. Her mother's a pip.
Oh my gosh, her mother's amazing.
Yeah, you might want to get the book.
The author does a really good job writing the characters. And I've actually started the second book, since we're on the theme of that. And it's called A Death in Chelsea. And she's only written 2 books so far.
I like catching new authors.
Yeah, and it's a Death in Chelsea Mayfair 100 Mystery 2. So I'm hoping that more are coming because I like these characters. I think the concept is good. I think it's not weird when in the setting. They did a good job of setting it up and not making it feel like they're trying to make it fit. It feels natural. They're not trying to... 'cause sometimes when people write historical fictions, you'll feel like they're trying to put some of our values on the time.
Right.
But it doesn't feel like she's doing that. She's keeping the characters according to the way they would have felt and behaved during that time period without forcing modern viewpoints upon them. And I really appreciate that. Now, other books. I am still reading Solace in Suffering, Wisdom from Thomas à Kempis, Imitation of Christ, Peace in the Storm, Meditations for Chronic Pain and Illness by Maureen Pratt, Living Memento Mori, My Journey Through the Stations of the Cross by Emily M. DeArdo. Told you about Death in Chelsea. When I finished my Queens of the Crusades, I started A Visitor's Guide to Jane Austen's England by Sue Wilkes. And it ends up being, it's almost like a chatty way of writing. For something that's actually just describing like everything you can about England during that time period, it's very readable. I rarely go without some sort of historical English, not just historical fiction, but historical English book going at some point. I always have one of those going. And I started reading The Hobbit again by J.R.R. Tolkien. I want to go from Hobbit through the Return of the King.
Yeah, I don't want to do that till I finish my Timothy Zahn.
But The Hobbit is written very differently than the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Lord of the Rings trilogy is much more of a high fantasy. The Hobbit, it almost makes me feel like when you're reading, he talks to the reader. So it has a very different feel. You feel like you're in the modern setting, to some extent, discussing things that have happened back when. So the narrator has more of a personality in The Hobbit. And Tolkien's humor comes out more in The Hobbit than it does in the trilogy. So I was asked if I would recommend The Hobbit for someone who's a kid, and I would definitely recommend The Hobbit over the Lord of the Rings trilogy for a kid because it's funny. It really is. But yeah, I'm almost reaching Gollum.
Gollum.
So yes, that is it for me for reading.
What does it have in its pockets? Precious. Let's see. Okay, that takes care of that. We don't really have. We already kind of discussed life in the top of the.
Yeah,
I've
been really out of it. So.
And we had the stuff with Daddy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But my husband.
But I did get to make some pork, which was
Yes,
really
that was
really
really
well.
good. Yeah, we had a very nice meal, kind of collaboration effort of all of us. My husband made egg bread, and I made the dessert, and Talia made the meal.
It was it's a slow cooked ranch pork and potatoes.
Very good.
And I can't do ranch because it's not dairy free, but one of the people in 5 Dinners 1 Hour does gluten free, dairy free, and she had suggestions what she does when it calls for a ranch flavoring, and I followed her directions with the spices. It turned out really well.
It was really good. Talia, you could probably use that on your popcorn.
Oh, you're probably right.
You know, Pam, because you were saying you can't use any of the
Yeah, if I measure it out like I did for the pork.
Yeah, just measure it out, and you'll see what the calories are on it. And
well, it doesn't have calories. It's chives and it's spices.
oh, that's not too bad.
Or if it has calories, it's very few because it's not.
Well, yeah, the other one's very few as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got chives and it's mixed spices.
If I do 2 teaspoons, it's like under 20 calories. So it's just, it's like 16 or something, if it's that much.
Yeah.
It might even be 8. So, okay. Let's see here. We do have, is it the Zoom we have coming up on Friday?
It is. Now, I think it's the end of the month that I'm going to have to move the Zoom again, either to the Thursday or something, because
Doctor appointment.
I have a doctor appointment that Friday. We weren't sure initially if I was going to have to move it.
And we might still, but we'll probably not.
Yeah, probably not, because Dad said that he's not going to be seeing the doctor again until June anyway. So
Yeah.
it's probably better we keep this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise, it might be a little while.
Right. So we have a Zoom coming up this week to replace the one we missed because of all that was going on.
Yeah.
And we will, that's for the Patreons. We enjoyed our live stream yesterday.
Yes, we did enjoy that.
So we hope to see you guys there who are patrons. And if you want to join, there's a link in the description box if you want to do that.
Yes.
Okay? Now, we want to thank all the people who commented. I think I picked up everybody who commented. Oh, I do want to thank Jodadiah. I think it was Jodadiah.
It was.
Who set up the thread. We had a place in our PHN home for my Lady Fernico creations, my yarn, my pattern, whatever. And it was empty. There was no threads in it because I hadn't got around to it. And Ty hadn't got around to it. So Jodadiah said that...
I figured it wasn't my responsibility. You want to put something in there as your shop.
Jodadiah said that's not cricket, as Dan would say, and she put a thread in for me. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Jodadiah.
Yeah, because we used to have a thread for your project. And
I don't know where it went.
I don't know where it went.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I wasn't really looking into it. I thought there was a thread there. So I appreciate that. We do want to say thank you to all the people who commented either on YouTube or on the PHN home. If I've forgotten anybody, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because you weren't there when I put my notes together. Okay?
Right.
So I want to thank Ms. Pogo, Wendy MacGyver, not her real name, Lori, I'm not going to say you're sorry, Joan.
Although it's on YouTube, everyone can see it.
Yeah, but I don't have to say it. Joan, Isella Needle Arts and You, Barbara, Karen, Brittany, Looney Hiker, Meditative Crafter, Kara.
Carrie.
I know who you are, Angie's Hip, and Rena. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we want to wish you all a very blessed week and weekend. All of you who are in the United States who celebrate Mother's Day, who are mothers, grandmothers, godmothers, wherever you are.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day. And we want to wish you all a very blessed weekend. All of you, a very blessed weekend week full of knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever it is makes your hearts happy. And we hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 453, and that's a wrap.
Bye.